What's up, Dunwoody? Welcome back to the podcast. It's all about Dunwoody, Georgia. My name is Matt Weber. I'm the host. Show is brought to you by Dr. Brett Friedman with Village Orthodontics. Neil, you know Dr. Brett very well. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Neil, you've been on the podcast before. You're with Rush Union, and you play at the new Brook Run fields. You came on like 2020, maybe, I guess, right as we were starting up. And I spend a lot of time with you, but my viewers have not spent a lot of time with you. So introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Rush Union, what you guys are doing in Dunwoody.
We are firstly, I'm super excited to be back on. Thanks a lot, Matt. And if you hang out long enough with me, you're going to end up coaching in our program too.
I always get pulled in.
So thank you, Matt.
This is the very first season. This is the very first season I've ever not coached one of my kids. Well,
then you've got to help us recruit some more because we're always looking for folks to get involved. Community-based program. We play out at Brook Run Park. The fields came online in 2020, mid-pandemic. I think we can all remember back then. It seems like it was yesterday and like it was 15 years ago, all at the same time. We've really grown into the park. We're so grateful for our relationship with the city, the folks involved there, the Parks and Rec Division, City Council. We have tremendous support within the community. We got out there in 2020. We've got recreational academy select teams going on, and we've really diversified the programming since then with summer and winter opportunities, adult play. Matt, I know you've been playing in our adult leagues, and I occasionally
five out of six season champions.
Oh,
you forgot to.
We need to have that plug, right? Clearly, we need to get some harder teams in there to play against you guys. But I occasionally play in the adult league as well, and try not to hurt myself.
Yeah, we played on the same team for the Father Christmas Cup. That was fun.
Yes. Yeah, we do. That's another event that we're involved with. It's a charity event that gives back to the community. Yep. So, we got lots going on. What do you want to know about? We're super thrilled to be at the fields and growing, and tons of soccer.
Well, let's talk about how'd you end up in Dunwoody? I guess you were in Milton, and it was Chiefs, right? And then you came back
in the Floraville area, actually, and it was Chiefs, and then there was a location in Milton called Georgia Rush. And just as the fields, we established a program with Parks and Rec in Dunwoody that was playing out at Penoshal Park, which is a small location. And we were bursting at the seams, actually, and the fields came online, and we were able to kind of move most of that group over. We went through a merger as an organization then in the pandemic too, which formed what you now know as Rush Union. So we have a location in Dunwoody and we have a location in Milton that is serving about 2,000 players, youth players, and about 500 adult players now between the two locations. So, like I said,
you got a lot of fields in Milton. It's a different facility for sure. They're not as nice of fields, but many more, and the indoor facility, it's cool.
Yep, we have 5 fields in Milton and an indoor field there, and they're grass, the outdoor field. So that brings different challenges to having the turf fields that we have at Brook Run. But we're grateful for any and all of our relationships that enable the kids and adults to be able to play the game.
I like how you keep throwing in adults. I appreciate that.
Yes, right, yeah. If you want to come play.
It's the only time I can be a child, is out on the field.
That's awesome.
So, all right. Well, your relationship with Parks and Rec. So Brent Walker had been here the whole time, and he was the one that I guess kind of brought you guys in. We've talked about this on a lot of podcasts where the nonprofits, so the city buys the fields, or in this case, built the fields and then handed them over to you guys, and you guys run them. It's kind of like the Sproul Center and Dunwoody Senior Baseball and all of those. I always like to throw that in because I don't think people realize that the city owns the things and then you guys run them. I think it's a good partnership. I know you guys have done a good job, and I know that the parks are happy with you. Now you're dealing with Rachel, who's the new Parks and Rec organizer. You guys have some beautiful fields. You probably need some more space at this point, right? It grew so fast.
We are growing. We're trying to grow responsibly and also diversify the type of programming that we're offering so that we are able to utilize the space that's available throughout the year, not just in 1 or 2 seasons. We're very grateful for the relationship with Parks and Rec. We with this soccer relationship, we're the recreational provider and they're the park provider that enables us to run the programs. I don't want to say that they just turn the fields over to us. We submit hours. There's lots of groups that are using it. There's The school the high school programs use the fields too, which is a very unique arrangement
Yeah.
and special to Dunwoody. There is adult groups that use it. There's rentals that go on out there as well. So there's a lot of collaboration to try to maximize the usage and again diversification of programming out there. So we have to get dates and things in really early. Brent was amazing to work with, and we're thrilled that Rachel has filled those shoes, and I'm sure she's going to do amazing things leading the Parks and Rec
Yeah.
department, and we're grateful to be able to have the opportunity to work with these types of folks.
Yeah. You already had a relationship with her, so that works out well.
It definitely
Yeah.
helps, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I know that, a lot of, I guess the problem is DeKalb County. So the schools can't build the fields, and so they kind of spill over into these parks. And I think a lot of Dunwoody think that they are entitled to use those fields, and so it is kind of a timeshare. I know the high school kids, when we show up to practice at 6, the high school kids are all leaving, and so at least they fit in. At least it fits in nicely. They can go there after school, and then the other kids show up. But yeah, I think it's wonderful because we used to, so when it was Chiefs, we used to play at Pernishaw, which was, I mean, there's like enough room for one tiny field, like one kid's field. And then, I live in Dunwoody North, and we can walk to the fields there. And so we're there 4 nights a week. And then I play one of those nights as well. We're there at least once in the weekend. So I spend a ton of time there. And so it is really, I mean, this may sound funny, but it really changed our lives, like our lifestyle. And I love it because I grew up playing soccer, as did you. It's a big part of my life. And so I'm glad that my kids get to play at an amazing field like that. And you guys do a good job of, putting on the rec, and that we've gone through rec and academy and now adults. So we've done all of them. And you guys, so I want to mention Juliet, Steve Reed, and Michael. They're wonderful. They've done a great job, with you.
Yeah, we have a great team behind
Yeah.
us, and a lot of folks that work really hard to make the magic happen. Right, when you get out on the field and the ball's being kicked around, that's the culmination of the work that's gone into it. We just hosted a tournament, a week ago, and it was our largest Rush Cup tournament to date. We used nine venues, 232 teams, 388 matches.
Yeah. It was
It was
huge.
3,000 kids got to play in the tournament, and that takes a lot of coordination to be able to pull off that type of an event. And any of our programs have work that goes in planning, leading up, communication, and then execution. And so it takes a team effort, right, to put these programs on. And seeing the kids running around on the field or in the gym in our new futsal programs or anything else that's the joy. That's the part we look forward to.
Yeah.
And if that's going well, it means that the planning phase leading up to the event went well, and that's what we look back on and we reflect on afterwards. What can we do earlier? What can we get ahead of? How do we help manage parent and player expectations, and constantly self-reflecting, right? How can we do it better next time? And
Yeah.
I do feel like we're open for feedback. We get plenty.
Yeah.
Um,
Good and bad, I'm
so
sure,
of
with
course,
everything.
right? Of course, we don't mind honest feedback. It helps us improve. We've had some good feedback. We've had some mixed feedback, of course,
Yeah.
and we try our best to make sure that we're being attentive to that.
I
And
think you guys do a great job. We ended up playing at Bethesda Church in Gwinnett, which is the fields that I grew up on. And so it was cool. The last 2 weeks we've gotten to play at Bethesda. And, my son, he said that this weekend was his favorite weekend of soccer ever, which was really cool to hear. It made me really happy. And we played against the Milton team, I guess at least this week once. And there is like a little bit of camaraderie. They're wearing the same jerseys as you, but you don't recognize any of their faces. The coaches were really cool. So yeah, it is really nice. You guys did a good job of putting that together because they played at pretty much all of the facilities around within 30 minutes of here, at least. That was a big thing to put on. So, you mentioned futsal. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we have access to the Dunwoody Baptist Gym this spring season. We implemented the program for the first time this past fall. We're doing Friday night futsals. Futsal. It's a version of soccer. It's indoors. The ball's a little different. The goals are different. The skills required are different. They actually complement, indoor outdoor play complements each other really well.
Yeah.
And we've got skilled staff in there working with the kids that understand the game of futsal. There is similarities, but some differences. It really complements player development. And we did our Friday night version. So a lot of our programs now, outside of kind of your normal spring fall league, we have a lot of flexibility. So you can choose how many sessions you sign up for, how many nights you want to attend. We do that with our summer programs, our winter programs as well. And that way it fits the needs of families, right? When you say, oh, we've got this program on Fridays, sometimes Friday's not a great night for families, right?
Yeah.
It's the one, might be the
Not
one
good for
night
my
of the week.
family.
Right. Mine too. But there's also opportunities to say, well, we can drop in. We can go
Yeah.
this week. We can skip next week. And the fee structures are fit that. So we also have an advanced rec program that's starting up on Friday nights also. We've got our rec
Okay.
teams that are going to be training. We have a program specifically for our rec players, and we're looking at how we bridge our program. So we've got our entry level recreational play, and then we've got our competitive academy play. We've developed a pre-academy program, and now we've got an advanced rec program, and that
That's
is
cool
helping.
because overall,
Yeah,
there's a big difference between, the
there
rec
is.
kids and the academy kids. And, right now I'm helping coach a rec team where there are one or two kids that probably maybe should make that jump, but it's a big jump. And so having that middle ground, I didn't know you guys were doing that. That's really cool.
Look at it as in, all the kids in school are different, right? And
Hmm.
and they go and the teachers work with them, and then they're in a class environment, but they also end up on different tracks too, right? Some
Right.
kids are on advanced tracks, some kids are on credit recovery, right? There's different levels, and so we're trying to establish protocols and processes that help support the children where they're at.
Yeah.
And we've got there's a big commitment that can come with the highest level elite play,
Yeah.
and travel that comes with it. And then there's low commitment, low cost that comes at entry level. Well, we need to have some nice stepping stones throughout the journey,
Yeah.
so that children can develop at their own rate, engage with the sport, have fun at every level, right? It's really important to us that children enjoy the level that they're at,
Hmm.
and that the program meets them at their needs.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been a great process, and that's led us to look internally at
Yeah.
ourselves. And I know I'd mentioned this to you previously. We've gone through a strategic planning process. We're currently still going through it. It's been ongoing for about 9 months now. And we partnered with an outside group called the Collective. They're amazing. They've done a lot of work in our market in youth soccer specifically. They work with some of the governing bodies and other clubs similar to us in size and programming. And the end product of this so far is that one of the steps we've taken is to refine our mission statement. And mission statement is super simple. It's serve, develop, inspire. And that's really become like the guiding light within our organization of future decisions we're making now and future decisions. Who are we serving? Who are we developing? And are we inspiring, right? Are we serving our membership? Are we serving our kids? Are we serving our parents by providing the right information? Are we serving
Yeah.
our coaches? Not just our volunteers, but our professional staff as well. Are we helping them all develop players, coaches, parents? And we really want to inspire the next generation of players and coaches. Matt, right?
Yeah.
My own daughter's coach used to play for me,
All right.
and
That's
I
cool.
think that's an amazing story, right? He was hopefully developed to a certain level of player and is now inspired to give back to the game and serve. My own daughter's group, so I know who to blame if he messes up as a coach, obviously,
Right.
right? But
I
it's
absolutely
great.
love coaching. I've like I said, we before you guys were around, I started over at Marist at the Y, and we had the Jedi Sharks. I allowed the kids to pick the name of their team. You'll appreciate this. So I allowed the kids to pick the name of their team, and they were coming up with the stupidest names. They were like the Tigers, the Eagles. I'm like, no, no, no. How about I don't know, maybe like something Star Wars, and somebody goes Stormtroopers, and then I heard Jedi. And then all of a sudden, the kids went off of Star Wars onto sharks. They wanted sharks. And so I was like, how about we combine those two? So we are the Jedi Sharks. And Micah, I coached him for, I don't know, about probably 5 years. And then Sam became the Jedi Sharks. And there was two families that had younger siblings, so they got to be Jedi Sharks too. So we had two. We had the Jedi Sharks and the Return of the Jedi Sharks. But it was. I have absolutely loved coaching, and I wish. I mean, I wish I had more time to do it, honestly, because this season I am going to end up helping coach a lot. But if you're listening to this and your kid does play soccer, step into that coaching role or even like an assistant coaching role. I mean, it really, and the looks on the kids' faces, like as you're coaching them, I just love it. My nephew played for me, I guess 2 years ago, two seasons ago, and he doesn't call me Uncle Matt anymore. Now he calls me Coach Matt.
Yeah.
And I was like, Charlie, please call me Coach Matt forever. I would love to hear that the rest of my life. He's as an adult. I'm an old man. He's calling me Coach Matt.
He's going to be reading your eulogy and call Coach Matt did this, and I remember Coach Matt.
There's nothing. There's no higher praise than that to me.
No, there's not. And I will say this, that you'll know that you've cracked it when one of your own boys goes back into coaching when they're older, and they use the Jedi Sharks as their team name. Like that will be the ultimate pay it forward, and that's what we're here for, right? We're not. At the end of the day, we are all excited about children that show promise in the sport, but we at Rush Union are excited about children and excited about engaging with the community. And that's why we walk in the 4th of July parade, by the way. And I might have been the first one to sign up. I did it immediately. The email came through and boom, here we go. We love engaging with that. And I know you're involved with that too in a big way. And that's those types of events, those ways to engage the kids. We've got a World Cup coming to Atlanta. Soccer is going to be so huge in our city. It already is, right? It's already big. It's already here. It's going to blow up even more, which is just immense. And it just so happens that soccer is our vehicle by which we can connect with the kids. We can inspire the kids. We get them active. And you know what? If we have some good players that come out of it, awesome. But more importantly, good people. And if they're willing to be good members of society, good students, good workers, good husbands and wives, right? I mean, this is what we're good parents. This is what really is success for us. And we're not alone. There's many partners in the community we're all aspiring to that. But it's certainly led us to look internally and who we are and who we're trying to be. And we're just so grateful for the opportunity to serve.
That was awesome. I'm going to cut that and send it to you. You guys team up with everybody. I know Dr. Brett, our sponsor here, Dr. Brett Friedman, Village Orthodontics, just rolls off my tongue at this point. He's all over all the jerseys. I loved seeing, this weekend, it was our kids, it was the Milton kids. They've all got Village Orthodontics written on their backs. And so the community is kind of taking you guys in as well.
That has been one of the most rewarding things, to see others reaching out to us. We've folks like Brett have reached out. They want to support. How can I best support you? We like to form partnerships. It's not transactional. It's transformational. And his children are playing in the program with us. It's awesome. And there are others that are supporting in different ways. And that could be a volunteer, that could be a sponsorship, that could be a donation, that could be just getting involved on one of our local committees and helping provide feedback and connect the membership to the programming. There's tons of ways to get people involved. It doesn't have to be, if you're not able to in that financial way. Of course, we certainly welcome that. And I know that Brett is huge in the community and sponsors a lot of the youth groups, and they make a big impact, and it certainly helps us, and I'm sure the others around too. So we're really grateful. And if there's others out there that want to engage in the same way, please let's form a partnership and help make the sport and the experience better.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a good stopping point. You got anything else to mention?
No, just thank you.
All right. Yeah. I couldn't be more thankful to you guys for coming here, to the city for building those fields. It's really made the Webbers very, very happy. At least this Weber, very, very happy.
The city built the fields, and we're grateful and honored, and we respect that, right? We're stewards of the programming, and we take it very seriously. For the most part, it's a fun time, right?
Yeah.
We do take it very seriously. We know there's challenges that we face within the community, and I think that as long as we continue to put the children and the community first, that we're hopeful to be here for a long time.
Yeah, and you do it right, and it is when I go up there, it's almost like a family atmosphere. Like I know a lot of the guys, I know most of the faces that I pass, and it's funny because I normally take care of the kids. I bring them up there, but I brought my wife last week. She was just sitting around and wanted to go with me, so we went up and picked up the kids, and she saw a bunch of her friends up there too. And so it is, it's like a family. You guys have built something really cool, so we appreciate it.
Hopefully our children are growing up together and we're
Yeah.
all growing old together. That's the aim, right? So it's
Yeah. A lot of people stay in Dunwoody, so maybe you'll see their kids someday.
we want them. We want kids and grandkids. You mentioned Coach Steve before. He's had 3 kids
Yeah.
go through the program. He's had a granddaughter go through the program. We can't get rid of him. He's amazing, and those are the types of people like that, like you, like Brett. That we welcome those folks. They've got the heart in the right place, and we want to keep them involved for as long as they want to be involved.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Neil. Appreciate it.
I really appreciate it, man.